Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, across the country, around the world. Welcome back to Planet Coaster, WestCOT. We're looking at what has become the front facade for Chrono Venture, the time-traveling car ride there. I just did some research for, modern office building, and I found something that looked like this, and so I thought I think I did a decent recreation of it. Kind of hard to tell what exactly it looks like at night, so let's go ahead and bring up the daytime. And you get some actual colors. There we go. Some black and gray. It's kind of a different, different feeling thing. Okay, that moves too slowly. There we go. Yeah, I'm okay with it. It was better than just kind of the blank entrance we had, and it kind of hides a little bit of this. Not much, but a little bit of it. We'll still have to figure out what to do with that whole building later. Anyway, I've spent a decent amount of time off camera working on stuff. I actually tried to do stuff on camera, but my encoding software didn't keep up with me. I played for too long and it was too much for it. Trying different settings, still playing with OBS. Hopefully I can get it figured out. Anyway, we did this, got this new facade going there. I've added some fountains to the main plaza area. Just simple kind of geometric-ish shapes. Again, inspired from things I found on the internet. Plus, it helps to break up the plaza and gives me places to put trash cans and kind of forces the guests certain ways. Otherwise, this whole area was just littered with litter for really no apparent reason. Is there litter over there? No, it's just a texture on the ground. Yeah, so I got that fountain there, and we have a similar-ish fountain over here. This one I kind of was inspired a little bit like Fortress of Solitude-ish. That's kind of what I was thinking, but not as much. Yeah, just a couple little fountains. Nice and simple. And the other part... oh no, you didn't see that. The other part, like I said, I thought I recorded, but unfortunately, it didn't. It failed. The recording failed. I couldn't encode it, or I was impatient and I canceled it. We have a roller coaster. It's the, what is this, the Typhoon type? Typhoon Bar Guest. I'm calling it for now Anti-Gravity. This ride, if you've ever been to WestCOT in Florida, this ride is my test track equivalent. Because you're going to start inside, dispatch and go down, and, well, we can watch it here. Let's try a cinematic watch through of the ride. Cinematic... not that one. That one. Anyway, guests load, and they get on, and they dispatch. They're going to go down into a lower level of the interior. It's kind of like a testing area, kind of like at Test Track. We have the interior testing where you go through brake testing, handling testing. That's kind of what this little bitty inside area here is. One crazy overbanked turn. Slightly crazy. And then you pop outside. And again, acceleration. This is a track, a ride track that's actually made for the vertical lift hill and then the beyond vertical drop. But again, I wanted to keep this a little more, well, not that crazy. So it's just got the linear induction motors. But they're the smaller vehicles, so to me that certainly emulates Test Track. And yeah, the frame rate is starting to suffer. And the park's not even halfway complete. Oh my. Granted, this is doing a lot of crazy camera work too. And this is the part where we kind of zoom around the building here, much like Test Track does, except Test Track doesn't have an inline twist that's long and crazy. But after a lot of tweaking and playing with this, I got to where I like it, I think. It took me about 2 hours. Again, that recording did not pan out, unfortunately. I think I might change those last break sections there. But they flow pretty well with the 4 cars. Come into the station pretty nicely. There's no dispatch lag or anything like that. And the rating is a nice, solid, 6.23. It's staying there. Excellent, yeah. It's pretty, the guests seem to like it pretty well. The excitement, the launch sections aren't too much, but a lot of these loops and hills and things get it up pretty well. And even adding just like a little hill here, pop this up from a 4 to a 6 and stuff. Yeah, it really likes like the acceleration here on a downward slope apparently. And then let's just take a look at fear. There's a fair amount of fear, especially going on that. This inline twist is pretty slow, so I could see why it would be scary. And then nausea. Yeah, not too bad. Oh, before the twist, that's interesting. But for the most part, the nausea doesn't get too bad. The nausea rating stays in a green zone, although it's just at the top edge of the green zone. Anyway, that's what we did, or that's what I've done off camera. Again, I meant to record all this, but it didn't work out. And additionally, it wasn't, there was a lot of trial and error, and a lot of me sitting there going like, what am I doing? I don't know. So, all that being said, it works out actually, because I think I can finish up sticking this ride in one episode, which will be great. And then I can focus on finishing the plaza. We're going to add, because this is getting really wide, and looking at the overall layout of the park, yeah, pretty wide. We're going to start building, we're going to bring the plaza more this way, like cut it off at this corner, up and up. Actually maybe just in and in. I think I'll put some food options here. Kind of mirror image of these guys. Maybe bigger, something slightly different. Some food options here, and bring things in. And then here we'll have the big weenie of the park, even though this is a giant building, but the intentional weenie of the park over here. And then from there it can branch out to different 5 different countries. Yeah, and we still have lots of depth to the park. The width, we're pushing it, but depth is what we still have lots and lots and lots. You can see the boundaries of the park there and there. So, without further ado, I'm going to cut here and jump into the time lapse. See future me. Well, you'll be listening to future me in just a moment. Alright, so up front I want to say I apologize for the horrible audio quality of that recording. I was trying out OBS, it's not that good. I have since found AMD Relive, which is much better. The audio quality of my vocals is much better, and the visuals, everything runs better. You'll see the final ride through, that's what we used. Anyway, what's happening on screen? Building up the show building around the station and the queue. Initially, I'd wanted to further emulate Test Track, like they have in, Epcot in Florida. That's one big round building. And I wasn't going to try to make one big round building, but I was going to try to have a big square show building, and in front of that, a round building. I mean, obviously you see this is rounded, but I wanted not with the quarter curved tiles like those, but with flat walls, and then you rotate and you rotate and you rotate, so you had a big spread curved arc facade there. But given where the track laid out ended up being and things like that, I decided not to. We end up going with this that has this curved front to it, and I think it looks cool. To me, it reminds me of, if you ever played Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, it reminds me of the Ebon Hawk, just because that's kind of the general overall shape it ends up with, that front nose sticking out there, and then the wings on the side and stuff. Anyway, got the main shape for the show building down, working on the interior for the queue, and separating the queue from the ride. There we go, down there. I don't know why I have a habit. I think it's because of it's because of where the stations start. I keep ending up with things that are the 2 meters or the half tile short from being squarely one full wall section up. So I always start on the ground with that half meter or 2 meter wall section, which is slightly annoying, but it's not the end of the world. Yeah, this was a bit of a haphazard layout to get this up. I was kind of figuring things out as I went, and especially with it, considering that it goes from, the queue to the station to the interior, like the quote testing area or whatever, to then the outside. So I kind of had some playing around to do. This is annoying as well because I didn't want the whole, I wanted this to have its own little section and height, and there we go. Yeah, and that works out being all right. Unfortunately, though, the gray tile wall to the back there that you can see it, I do leave a hole there. I'll have to fix that. Everything's off by half a tile. you know, that half tile there, that. So I end up leaving that thing there is just a gap. There's no concrete half tile width piece. Come on, Frontier, give me half wide tile pieces, because that would make my life so much easier, so much better. Yes. Yep, and then framing in things down here didn't quite fit, and we end up changing a lot of this anyway. It ends up looking really cuboid and stuff. I think it ends up looking pretty cool in the end. What do I do here? Yeah, same type of thing. Yeah, I think that's a bit for the station. Now we're just closing in the queue space, and things close up pretty quickly after this, I think. Yeah, just stretch this across. Yeah, all the way down, and we end up with it like this. There we go. And oh, right, filling in those archways. We end up with the front section being one tile high, whatever, and then one, you know, wall behind that. I think it becomes, it's something of an imposing facade here, I think. That's how I feel it is. Yeah. There you get kind of an idea of the layout. There's the queue. That's pretty much all we do to it. Although I am going to go back and scenic it with some other robotic things, kind of, you know, that are kind of test tracky looking type things. Yeah, now things are getting walled in pretty quickly. Oop, no, there you go. But change that to gray. And yeah, I could have kept those pieces I deleted earlier. Oh well. Now that we've got the basic shape again, we just start walling it in. And it's really simple. It's just this black concrete. I keep the building the black concrete. I debated about that internally for a little bit, but it looks correct for what I'm going for. Again, an emulation of Test Track. And there, you're inside a dark test center, a dark show building. Everything's dark. And I might add some like caution stripe things here and there, because that's a set piece that you can use. I think it's a scenery piece. I'd have to look. Then at the exit, I figured this is a slightly nauseating ride. Let's give them first aid in a bathroom, because they're going to need it. They don't actually use it that much though, so that's I think that's a good thing. And then what do we do? Yes, we just simply wow, we simply enclose all this stuff and make it nice and happy. Yes, excellent. This part of the build was, I was kind of flying by the seat of my pants, not really sure what I was doing. Like I said, I wanted it to be a different shape. And it ends up not being that shape, but I end up, like I said, I'm kind of happy with it in the end. It's a cool futuristic looking thing. Like I said, it's slightly imposing, so I think that's kind of cool. And then here we just work on the entry back into the station, and there we go. Yeah, like I said, it looks kind of cuboid in the end. Reminds me slightly of I think it's Nicanor's Cubism, I think is the ride, that he or she, I'm not sure, made. And here, yeah, I just need to raise this part of the show building up one layer just so that it clears, because that entry, or the re-entry? Yeah, the re-entry path for the coasters at the end there need just a little more clearance than what I originally had. And then here, I was trying to debate, do I just do an opening? Oh, that fits really weird, and I couldn't actually fit anything there, because of the way the coaster was tilted, it would hit that wall. So I thought, maybe these guys? No, that's just stupid. Fine, let's just go where, there. And then I wanted to use this effect anyway, so I figured might as well try it. It's not exactly the correct color. It's white. It's a little more futuristic looking than maybe it should be, but they work. It actually works really well in closing off the building. And then we end up adding triggers to those, and they function just fine. Yes, and that's the entrance. That's the show building, you know. The entrance. There are the triggers. I am not a fan of having to drag it. I mean, there it's not that bad, but I'm kind of not a fan of having to drag it all the way around. I would like to snap it to a place, but no. Yeah, these cars are moving pretty fast, so the triggers need to be set nice and early. Boom, there we go. Good. And while I was in there, I realized, wait, you can see the grass. That's not correct. So we go in and just using, again, the ceiling tiles, or the roof tiles, the concrete roof tiles, we put that in. They were a bit persnickety up here on the front. It did not want to go in that place, so I had to go outside, there it is, and figure out where, and done. And then here, yeah, this way, this really, to me, makes it feel a lot like Test Track, where it has the blank show floor, the blank concrete floor, because it feels very utilitarian. Oh yeah, and that black and gray I like a lot. Oh, here we go. Everything looks good. The walls aren't too... I think I saw one spot where the walls were bad, and I go back and I fix that. Woohoo, and that's the ride. Here we go. Yes, here. This, you can see the coaster barely passes underneath that. So I end up just leaving it like, and this piece didn't want to find its place. There we go. End up doing like that, and that makes it much, much happier. And then from there, oh yeah, concrete the inside there. There we go. At least with the terrain colors. And from there we go and work on the outside, I think. Oh, I think I'm looking at I'm looking at the triggers there. So from there we go look at the outside. And at the outside, at Test Track in Florida, it's just a figure 80 loop around. It's not much. Here, I wanted this to feel like it was a test through an urban environment. So I went to the workshop and I found a whole lot of, quote, modern or future buildings, whether they're office buildings or houses, homes. And I even go through and I find more because I want it to be like towers in the background. And yeah, I end up being really happy with all these modern looking buildings stuck in here because it fills in the space and you're not just flying through a grassy field. I like this one, and I line up like, wait, does it fit? Can I? And I can put that thing there, and you pass through it, and it's a really cool effect, I think, and it's a nice, block. It's a blocks the sight line, and it fits. That piece just fit beautifully right there. And this one here, yes, and this one. This guy was so huge. I was like, where the hell? Over here, I guess. I guess it fits over here. Sink it down, and then I thought, wait, can I twist it? Can I twist it? Aha! So we get a little more exposure there because you see it from a couple different sides. And I like that one there, and then this one, I was like, no, maybe there. No, I actually put it with. There we go. Select it all. Put it with this, so it kind of becomes part of that house there. Plus that wall kind of provides a blockage. After that, I wanted to do more office buildings toward the back, so that it looked like it was, part of a city. So we get that one there. And yeah, some of these office buildings, I have to admit, I used them in Chrono Venture, like that one there. Definitely, you can probably recognize that one. As well as, I didn't use that one, but we end up using this one in a few minutes. Here, we move this, there we go. And then we put that one with the metal structure in the back there. Didn't use it in Chrono Venture, didn't seem to quite fit, but I like it. I think it looks nice and modern-ish. I think, oh, they use railroad tracks. Is that what that is? Cool. And this one, definitely used in Chrono Venture. I didn't realize till later it has a shop in it. I had to get rid of that. And then this one, of course, which is like the Arizona building, I think it's called. And delete, get rid of all the foliage, and sink that guy down into the ground. But at this point, I was like, no, what else do I got? No, what the hell? And I actually took a jump to the workshop here, and then we come back, and I got a few others. This reminds me of the Staples Center. It's like or the Convention Center in San Diego. I really like it. But that's like a town hall. And then this one here was a cool looking modern shopping center, I guess. It has like 4 different shops to it, but it was hard to manipulate because it wasn't all one building. It was one blueprint, but it was not all one building. So if I said I'm done, then I'm good. If I wanted to click on things, it didn't all move. I only moved part of it. Pieces didn't cooperate, like those support things. So I said, you know what, hold on. Let's stop this and go back, because nothing was really being terribly cooperative. Enterprise. So then there we go. So now I go through and delete all the shops because they're just an annoyance. And I think, nope, I wanted to delete that and then fix these walls. I was going to go with a solid wall and I realized, wait, no, there's windows there. Stop. What are you doing? Continue the line. Yes, so now it's done. Now I save that as one blueprint. I put it as H-pad because it has a giant helipad on top. H for the helicopters. And I thought, have that thing stick in? No, that's too much. But it's there, and yeah, that looks pretty good. I think we only put in one other building. Yeah, this one here, which also has shops in it. Oi. And I go through that and delete all those shops because they were unnecessary. Nobody's going to get there, and there's more shops on an upper level. Yay! That was, feels like Castlevania here. Okay, or Wolfenstein. I think that's it for the buildings. Adding buildings to it. I think it's, yeah, because again, it's supposed to be kind of like a test vehicle, and I want it to be in like that urban environment. I might go back and add some concrete strips and more trees and things like that. Not entirely sure. But I wanted to ride it real quick, fast paced, see how it looks with the buildings, and I think it looks pretty darn cool. Unfortunately, again, this software I was using, not the best for recording a ride through, but I got that coming up for you in just a moment. I think, yeah, here we go, nighttime. And a lot of these are pretty well lit. I didn't want to do too much more lighting to the outside stuff, but inside, pitch black, black concrete walls, so we're going to add lighting here and there. Yeah, just a little more lighting here in the inside. After that, I got to ride through for you in the dark. That's it for this episode. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. If you like, hit subscribe. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, pass the word. I will catch you later.